All right, so I'm going to go ahead and roll into chapter 2 of our talk today. And what we're going to do in chapter 2 is organize those assets, and then we're going to go into editing part 1. All right, and I kind of blazed through the rest of this part. All right, so in our organizing, well, I do want to hit this part for creating and collecting real quick. So you'll see what I did here is I dropped Marshall's video into that first little square. All right, now remember we had these elements when we were building out our storyboard. And as you can see, that has developed over the creation. So I've expanded it up to the 60 minutes, and I'm going to start organizing and bringing in those assets. And then we're going to start, editing a bit. All right, the way I like to organize, because I think it makes a ton of sense, is to go ahead and bring in your sound, because the sound is going to kind of drive the cues in the video, and it's going to drive the length, of course. So the narration ended up being just about spot on. You can see from the time down here that I ended up with 1 minute and 3 seconds total, and that's because Marshall's portion took a little bit, and then I dropped the sound file in. And I want to walk you guys through how we did those things, really quickly. So with Marshall's video, I'm going to go to my upload, and we're going to find our friend Marshall somewhere. I know he's going to be under videos, not images. And I'm going to let's get rid of Marshall here, and we're going to put him back. All right, so this is Marshall's video. And
I'm Marshall Butler.
Yes, you are Marshall Butler. All right, so we're going to kind of position it on the screen in the corner, and then we're going to make it bigger. All right, now Marshall's on the screen. Now, if we listen to this, you're going to see kind of a weird pause.
I want to invite you to attend the Rotary Club of West Jacksonville.
All right, and I appreciate Marshall. When he made this video, he left me with a little bit of room on the front and the back end to cut it, which was great. So what I'm going to do is we're going to listen to that one more time.
Of West Jacksonville.
All right, so he's stopped saying West Jacksonville right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to crop the video to that point. And cropping within Canva is really easy. So what I can do is I can grab that end, and I'm going to pull it right to that point. So now
the Rotary Club of West Jacksonville.
All right, so now we have that segment built out, and then we're going to go into our voiceover. And you can see the voices have been added here already. The way I did that is from within audio. I first took my voiceover and I drug it down into here. Okay, and I don't need to do it again, so we're going to leave that as is. And so now I have my voiceover in place, and I have all those elements in place. And then I wanted background music. And so the background music that I picked was this one. All right, and so we added that to the video as well. And so hopefully you guys can see how all these elements are starting to be layered together. And as I continue the editing piece, we're going to get, well, we've got the basic layout in place, and now we're going to start really placing our assets, okay? And so I'm going to go into editing. All right, now all of a sudden you see, wow, this thing looks really, really populated. Well, let's talk about how we got there. And I guess to make this make the most sense, let's listen one time to the AI video script so that you guys can kind of see where I'm going with the different segments that we built out. All right, so we're going to go into uploads, and we're going to play that segment.
The Rotary Club of West Jacksonville is for you. Our upcoming dynamic speakers include Jacob Gordon and Lindsay Ott from Jacksonville Downtown Vision, who join us on March 12th to discuss continuing our...
All right, so that's just a little snippet of it. So as that starts, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go from, and I'm going to pull back one layer here so you guys can kind of see how that works. All right, so
The Rotary Club of West Jacksonville, Florida, founded in June 1967.
All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm listening to the audio and I'm going to further tailor the storyboard to match the audio. And so here I set up, okay, I want to see the meeting site. Where do they meet? Because they actually have a really cool spot where they meet. So we're going to do a picture of the club where they meet. Now let's listen some more.
Meets on Wednesdays for lunch at 12:30 at the beautiful riverfront.
Okay, so I'm going to make a note, just a mental note that, all right, maybe we want a visual on screen to talk about their meeting time.
Timaquana Country Club. Whether you are looking for opportunities to serve the community, fun and fellowship, or to grow your business network.
All right, so there, I'm talking about really the three needs that are met by being in a Rotary Club, right? I'm talking about service, the opportunity to fellowship, and your business networking opportunities. So we want some images that represent that. And so I'm thinking, all right, let's throw some videos in there that, kind of represent those pieces.
The Rotary Club of West Jacksonville is for you. Our upcoming dynamic speakers include Jacob Gordon and Lindsay Ott.
All right, so this was a specific ask of Marshall wanting people to come, visit his club. And so we talked about some specifics about what's coming up, right? And I think what's cool about this particular template is that it's something that, you guys can change on, a monthly basis if you want to, or a quarterly basis. You can put in some highlights of things that are going to be happening at your club and just sort of customize them.
From Jacksonville Downtown Vision, who join us on March 12th to discuss continuing our city's rejuvenation. Our next social will take place aboard the...
All right, and now we're talking about a social. And you'll notice that something that we're going to handle in the advanced part of the editing, you'll notice that background music is a little loud. It's, it's kind of drowning out the voiceover. That's something we can adjust, and I'll show you guys how to adjust that shortly when we get into the editing 2 section.
USS Orleck, 610 East Bay Street, this coming Wednesday, March 5th.
All right, so we talk about the club social, and then we're going to go into sort of a final screen that just punctuates the video. And my, I guess my vision there was that we were just going to throw in, a club, splash screen, maybe the club logo or something. All right, so what I did was we started populating those things. So in this case, I threw this picture in. I thought it was a cool people of action kind of picture. I mean, it is at the meeting and they're speaking, but it's, Marshall giving a Paul Harris Fellow. This is a nice little collage. And these were actually 4 different pictures that I brought over, I grouped them together and, we did a little animation. We're going to talk a little bit more about animations here in a few. This was the meeting site. Again, very neat, location. And then I pulled in a video. Now, I want to revisit assets real quick, because remember, I said that, I had done that search within Elements to, look for service. So on here, I did volunteers working, and I found that video. And so I pulled it over. And then, it's a long video. It's like 20, 30 seconds. But when I pulled it in, if you look, if I click on the video here, this shows that it's cropped. If I click on that, it shows just a little segment that I use. That video is in fact much longer, but I cropped it down to just the 3 seconds that I wanted to use in that little segment. All right, and then just kind of moving through the other elements. This I just brought in a picture, and I'm sorry, that's a video rather. This is also a video of business networking. These are pictures actually from the club. And this is, if you remember from the voiceover, this is going to be dynamic speakers.
And Lindsay Ott.
And you'll notice these black spaces here, those are left on purpose because we're going to add some elements into that in a little bit. And then we went into the, I've got a little video of the battleship. They actually, there's a Navy, decommissioned Navy vessel where they're having their next social, which I found some video of that, which I thought was really cool, because it's a unique place to have a club social. So I pulled that video in. And then remember we talked about the picture, the club splash screen. And all I did here was, if you look at this element, this is just a club logo over a white background. So that was, pretty easy add-on.